Imagine standing on a warm beach at midnight. You look down at the water near your feet, and it's glowing.
Oh, wow. Glowing.
Yeah, exactly. It is glowing bright blue in the dark, like a sky full of stars. You are in the Maldives.
That sounds absolutely beautiful.
It is. The air is warm. It is peaceful. But here's the big question. How do you tell your friends about this experience in English?
Right.
How do you describe the sand, the water, and, the feelings?
That is a wonderful question. And that is exactly what we are doing today, this deep dive.
Yes, we are.
We are not just learning English grammar. We are packing our linguistic bags. We are preparing to explore the world's most incredible destinations.
So if you are learning English
Yes.
and you are at the beginning of your journey, maybe A1 or A2 level, you are in the right place.
Absolutely.
Today, we speak slowly, we use clear words, we use simple sentences, we are talking directly to you.
Today, our special English lesson is all about your dream vacation.
Yeah.
And we are using an excellent lesson plan from a company called Fluentora to guide us.
I love their materials.
Me too. By the end of our time today, you will have the words and the grammar you need to plan and describe your perfect trip.
We have a lot of ground to cover, though. I mean, we need to learn travel vocabulary. We need to look at 5 real amazing places in the world.
Yes, and we need to learn how to book a ticket and pack a bag.
Right. And yes, we will even learn some grammar later on. But I want to start with the words. Because you cannot build a house without bricks, right?
That is a great way to say it.
You cannot talk about travel without the right vocabulary. It is like packing your brain before you pack your suitcase.
Exactly. Words are the tools we need first. The Fluentora text gives us 10 core travel words. So let us start with the first 2. Listen closely to the sound. Vacation. Destination.
Vacation. Destination. I always hear these 2 words together, but they kind of confuse me.
Really? How so?
Well, I hear people say, my vacation is France. Is that correct?
No. That is a common mistake for learners. Let us look at the exact meaning of each word.
Okay, please explain.
A vacation is a time. It is a period of days or weeks when you stop work or stop school. You do it to rest.
Right, so it is the time off.
Exactly. A destination, on the other hand, is a place. It is the exact location on a map where you travel.
Oh, I see. So the vacation is the time and the destination is the place. France is a place, so it must be a destination.
Yes. I should say, my destination is France for my vacation. And some people use the word holiday instead of vacation. They mean the same thing.
Let me make sure I understand. I have an analogy.
Go ahead.
A vacation is like the whole movie. The destination is the movie theater where you watch it.
I like that. That makes it very clear.
What if I take time away from work, but I do not travel anywhere? What if I just sit in my house for a week? Is that still a vacation?
Yes, it is. You are taking time to rest. You are on vacation, but your destination is simply your home.
Ah, a staycation.
Right. Now, the next 2 words are about how you feel during this time. The words are relax and refreshed.
I know the word relax. When I relax, I watch television. I do not think about work. I feel calm. My stress goes down.
Yes, that is relaxing.
But what does refreshed mean? Is that a physical feeling or a mental feeling?
It is both, actually. Refreshed means you feel full of energy again after you rest. Your body feels strong. Your mind feels clear.
Okay, so it is the result of relaxing.
Exactly. Think about it this way. When you work hard for many months, your energy goes down. You are tired.
I definitely understand that feeling. Let me try another analogy here. Think about your mobile phone battery.
Okay, the battery.
When you work all week, your battery drops to 10%. You are tired. Relaxing is like plugging your phone into the wall. You are resting.
Mm-hmm.
Refreshed is the feeling you get when you unplug the phone and the battery is at 100% again.
A full battery. That is a perfect way to describe feeling refreshed. You return from your vacation and you are ready to work again.
I love feeling refreshed. What are the next words?
The next 2 words in our lesson are scenery and explore.
Scenery. That is spelled S-C-E-N-E-R-Y. I struggle to understand this one. Does scenery mean everything I can see?
Not exactly.
If I look at a dirty street with lots of cars, is that scenery?
Usually no. Scenery means the natural, beautiful views you see in a place. It is the nature around you.
Ah, nature.
Yes. Mountains, rivers, trees, and the ocean are scenery. A dirty street is not scenery. When you drive through the tall mountains, you look out the window to see the beautiful scenery.
That makes sense. And what about the word explore?
To explore means to travel to a new place to learn about it. You do not know the place yet. You walk around to discover what is there.
I like to contrast words to understand them. Let me try.
Let's hear it.
Scenery is what you look at. Exploring is what you do. For example, a mountain is scenery. It is like a beautiful painting,
Right.
but you cannot explore a painting. If you walk into the forest to find a hidden waterfall, you are exploring the scenery. You're walking inside the painting.
Yes. You walk inside the picture. You discover new things. This brings us to our next two words, local and culture.
These two words are very important for travel. Local means things from a specific area. It means things that belong to the town you are visiting, not things brought from far away.
Exactly. And culture is the traditions of those local people. It is their food, their art, their music, and their way of life. Every country has a different culture.
Wait, let me challenge this. This can be confusing for a beginner.
Okay, challenge away.
If my destination is Japan and I go to a fast food restaurant there and I order a hamburger, is that hamburger local culture? I mean, I am in Japan, so it is local, right?
I see why you might think that, but no. A hamburger is a food that started in America or Europe. It did not start in Japan,
Those does not count.
right? The ingredients, like the cheese and the bread, are often not a traditional part of old Japanese history.
Yeah.
So if you eat a hamburger in Japan, you are just eating food. You are not eating local culture.
That makes sense. The food must connect to the history of the place.
Yes. Imagine you walk to a small market near the beach in Japan. An older woman is selling fresh fish. She caught the fish in the water near her home.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
She cooks it using a recipe from her grandmother. If you eat that fish, you are eating local food. You are learning about the culture.
I understand now. To really experience culture, we must try the things that truly belong to the destination.
Exactly. We have two more words left on our list from Fluentora.
What are they?
The last two core travel words are activities and memorable. Activities are the things you do for fun.
Like sports.
Yes, swimming in the ocean is an activity. Visiting an old museum is an activity. Hiking up a mountain is an activity.
And the final word, memorable. memorable. Memorable means something is worth remembering for a long time.
Yes, it means an event was so special, so beautiful, or so fun that it stays in your brain forever. You will always remember it.
So we have our 10 words: vacation, destination, relax, refreshed, scenery, explore, local, culture, activities, memorable.
Excellent. You listening at home, try saying your favorite word out loud right now. Practice the pronunciation.
Now we must use these words. The world is very large. There are so many places to go. How do we choose our path?
Well, the Fluentora text gives us two big categories of travel to think about: the beach holiday and the mountain holiday. They are very different experiences.
I definitely prefer the beach. The text mentions famous beach destinations like Thailand, Bali, and Spain. When I think of the beach, I think of hot, sunny weather.
What activities do people usually do at a beach destination?
The text lists a few. You can swim in the warm sea. You can eat fresh seafood like fish and crab caught that morning.
Delicious.
You can walk through local markets. But mostly, people go to the beach to sit in the warm sun. The text says, a beach holiday makes you feel calm and happy.
It lowers your stress. But let us look at the opposite choice, the mountain holiday.
Right, the mountains.
The text mentions destinations like Switzerland, Canada, and Nepal. These are countries with very tall green mountains.
The weather is very different there. It is cooler. The air feels different.
And what are the activities in the mountains? You do not sit in the sun. You hike through green forests. You breathe the cold, fresh air.
That sounds very healthy.
It is. You look at the massive rock scenery. And in the winter, you ski or snowboard down the white snow.
The text says the mountain holiday makes you feel free and adventurous. Adventurous means you want to try exciting physical things. It is very different from feeling calm on a beach.
Yes, the environment changes how you feel. A related question from the text is who you travel with. Do you travel alone or with people?
I have strong feelings about this.
Oh, really?
If I am a beginner traveler, maybe it is my first time in a new country. Should I travel alone? It sounds terrifying.
It can be scary, but the text gives pros and cons. Pros are good things, cons are difficult things.
Okay, what is the pro of traveling alone?
If you travel alone, you are independent. You choose the restaurants, you choose the activities, you wake up when you want, you must speak the language, which forces you to learn.
That is true. If I am alone in Spain, I must order my own coffee in Spanish. But if I get lost, I have no one to help me.
That is the con, the negative side. The text says traveling with family or friends makes a holiday more memorable.
Because you share the experience.
Exactly. You laugh together. If you get lost, your friend can look at the map. It feels safer.
I think for a first trip, traveling with one good friend is the best choice. You share the memories, but you also challenge each other.
That is a very balanced approach.
So we know about beaches and mountains. We know about traveling alone or together. But I need specific ideas. Where in the real world can we go?
The source material gives us 5 popular global destinations. We are going to explore each one closely right now.
Let's take a slow, imaginary airplane ride to each one.
Listen to the descriptions and try to picture them in your mind. First, we travel to Santorini, in the country of Greece.
Greece is in Europe. Santorini is a famous island there. The text describes buildings sitting on multicolored cliffs.
A cliff is a very tall, steep wall of rock next to the ocean. In Santorini, the houses are built high up on these rocks.
And they're painted bright white, right, with blue roofs. It is a famous style.
Yes, it is very famous. But why do people travel to this specific island?
Is it the food?
Visitors love to watch the beautiful sunsets. The sunset is the time in the evening when the sun goes down and the sky turns orange and pink.
Oh, I see.
Because the island is high up on the cliffs, you can see the sun fall right into the ocean. It is incredibly relaxing.
A calm beach holiday. Perfect. Now let us shift to something completely different. Destination number 2. Giza, in the country of Egypt.
Egypt is a country in North Africa. Giza is famous for its history. The text points to the ancient landmarks here. A landmark is a famous building you can easily recognize.
We're talking about the pyramids, right? The massive stone triangles in the desert.
Yes, the pyramids of Giza. They're ancient. Ancient means very, very old. The text asks us to remember that these pyramids have been standing for thousands of years.
I always wonder about that. Thousands of years ago, people did not have trucks, did not have electricity.
No, they did not.
How did they move stones that weigh thousands of pounds? It is amazing scenery, but it is also a mystery.
That is exactly why people go there. You do not go to Giza to relax on a beach. You go to explore history. You take a tour to learn about the ancient culture of the Egyptian people.
So Greece is for relaxing, and Egypt is for learning history. What is destination number 3?
We travel to Istanbul, in the country of Turkey. Istanbul is unique. The geography is very special.
Geography means where a place sits on a map. Why is Istanbul special?
The city is located between 2 continents. One half of the city sits on the continent of Europe. The other half sits on the continent of Asia.
Wait, really? 2 continents?
Yes, a river of water runs straight through the middle of the city.
That is amazing. You can eat breakfast in Europe, take a boat across the river, and eat lunch in Asia. What kind of activities do you do in Istanbul?
The text mentions incredible palaces. A palace is a giant, beautiful building where kings and rulers used to live. They are full of art.
Sounds very quiet and formal.
Well, Istanbul is also very modern and noisy.
The text uses the word chaos to describe the modern markets. Chaos usually means a bad thing. It means everything is crazy and unorganized. Why is it a good thing here?
In a busy market, chaos means energy. People are selling spices. They are selling colorful rugs. Everyone is talking loudly.
Oh, so it's lively.
Yes, the smells of the local food are very strong. It is busy, but it is a wonderful way to experience the local culture. You feel the life of the city.
Istanbul sounds memorable. I want to change the mood again, though. We talked about a noisy city. Now I want quiet.
Destination number 4 is perfect for that. It is the Sea of Stars at Vadhu Island in the Maldives.
We mentioned this at the very beginning of our deep dive. The Maldives is a country made of tiny islands in the Indian Ocean. Vadhu Island has a natural magic.
Glowing water. The text says the sea glows in the dark thanks to shells, fish, and plants.
How does that happen? Are they using electricity?
No, it is biology. It is natural. Tiny living things in the water create their own light.
That is wild.
When the waves crash on the beach, the water lights up in bright blue colors. It looks exactly like stars shining in the sand.
That sounds like the most beautiful scenery in the world. I want to go there immediately.
The text gives one important piece of advice for visiting the Maldives. It says to travel at off-peak times.
What does off-peak mean? I hear that word sometimes.
Peak means the highest point. The peak travel season is when everyone wants to go on vacation, usually the summer or big holidays. Off-peak means the quiet times of the year. You should go when other people are working.
But why? If I want to see something beautiful, why not go when everyone else goes?
To avoid the large crowds. A crowd is a big group of people in one place. If you go to a quiet beach, but there are thousands of tourists taking pictures, it is not relaxing.
Oh, true. It would be too loud.
If you travel during off-peak times, it is quiet. You can actually relax.
That is excellent advice. Travel when others stay home. Okay, we have one final destination from the Fluentora text. We travel to the United States of America. Destination number 5 is Grand Canyon National Park.
The Grand Canyon is completely different from the Maldives. It is a massive natural wonder. Massive means extremely large.
What exactly is a canyon?
A canyon is a deep hole in the rock, created by a river flowing over millions of years.
I have seen pictures of the Grand Canyon. It looks like a big red and orange hole in the ground.
The text says pictures are not enough. The size has to be seen to be believed. You cannot understand how deep and wide it is until you stand on the edge and look across.
Because it is so massive, exploring it must be difficult. You cannot just walk across it in 5 minutes. The text lists different ways to take a tour.
Right. A tour is a guided trip to look around. You can take a tour by helicopter.
A helicopter? Wow.
Yes. A helicopter flies in the air, so you look down into the canyon like a bird. You can also take a tour by bus, driving along the top edge to see different views.
And what is the third way?
You can take a tour by donkey.
A donkey?
Yes, a donkey is an animal similar to a small horse. You sit on the donkey's back, and it slowly walks down the steep, narrow paths to the bottom of the canyon.
Wait, riding an animal down a steep cliff sounds dangerous to me. Is that safe?
It is surprisingly safe. The donkeys walk those paths every day. They know exactly where to put their feet. It is a very old and traditional way to explore the canyon. It is very adventurous.
Greece, Egypt, Turkey, the Maldives, the USA, so many choices. But this leads to a very practical problem.
What is the problem?
I see the glowing water, I want to go, the daydreaming is over. But how do we actually get there? Planning a trip feels overwhelming for a beginner.
It requires a whole new set of English skills. We need to learn about booking and packing. The Fluentora text gives us a simple, step-by-step guide. Let us start with booking.
Okay, booking.
To book means to officially reserve your trip. You pay money so the company saves a seat or a room for you.
I often get confused by the order of things. Do I buy the airplane ticket first or the hotel first?
The text gives us 3 clear steps. Step 1 is choose. First, you must pick your destination. Second, you must pick your exact dates on the calendar.
That makes sense.
When do you leave? When do you return? You cannot buy anything until you know the dates.
That is logical. Okay, I choose Spain, and I choose to go from July 1st to July 10th. What is step 2?
Step 2 is buy. You must buy your transport tickets. Transport is how you move. Will you fly on an airplane? Will you take a train? You must buy these tickets early because they sell out.
And step 3?
Step 3 is sleep. You must book a hotel. A hotel is a building where travelers pay to sleep in a room.
Let me use an analogy to explain how these 3 steps work together. Do not think of it like a checklist. Think of booking a trip like making a sandwich.
A sandwich. Okay, I'm listening.
First, you need the bread. That is the destination. It holds everything together.
Right.
Then you need the meat. That is the transport tickets. It is the main part of moving you there. And finally, the cheese. That is the hotel. You need all 3 layers, the bread, the meat, and the cheese to make a good sandwich.
That is a very tasty analogy. You must coordinate all 3 parts. Choose the destination, buy the tickets, and book the room. Once you have booked these things, the trip is real.
So what is the next challenge?
The next challenge is packing your bag.
I am terrible at packing. I always take too much. I take 4 pairs of shoes for a 3-day trip. What is the English vocabulary for narrowing down what we actually need?
Let us use the example of going to Santorini, Greece in the summer. Step 1 of packing is clothes. You must check the weather.
Right. Summer in Greece is hot and sunny.
So you pack beach clothes, light shirts, short pants, and a swimsuit. You do not pack heavy winter coats.
But what if it gets cold at night? Should I pack 1 heavy coat just in case?
No, that is how your bag gets too heavy. Bring 1 light sweater. Step 2 is health. The text reminds us to pack sunscreen.
Sunscreen.
Sunscreen is a cream that protects your skin from the sun. If you go to a hot beach destination, this is very important.
Step 3 is essentials. What does essential mean?
Essential means absolutely necessary. You cannot travel without it. Your passport is an essential.
Yes.
A passport is the official government document that proves who you are. No passport, no entry into a new country. Another essential might be your daily medicine.
The text also mentions a camera to take pictures of the scenery. You know, I have a new analogy for packing.
Another analogy. Let's hear it.
Packing is not just throwing things in a box. Packing is like a puzzle.
A puzzle? How so?
You only take what fits, and you only take what you truly need. If you try to force the wrong piece into a puzzle, it doesn't work. If you try to force a winter coat into a beach suitcase, it doesn't fit.
That is excellent advice. Take only what is essential for the puzzle. So we have the vocabulary, we know the destinations, we know how to book and pack, your bags are ready.
But when you travel, You have to speak to people. You have to tell them where you are going and when.
This brings us to grammar.
Oh boy. Let me be honest. Many language learners hate grammar. It feels like math. It feels like rules that do not make sense.
I know, but grammar is simply the map that helps people understand your thoughts. Today, we focus on prepositions of place and time.
Preposition.
Yes. These are very small words, words like in, on, at, before, and after. They are small, but they carry a lot of meaning.
Let me give the listeners an analogy. Think of prepositions like the GPS map on your phone. Your GPS has a little blue dot, right?
Yes, the blue dot.
That blue dot tells you exactly where you are standing. Prepositions are the blue dots of the English language. They tell the listener exactly where a noun is sitting or exactly when an action is happening.
That is a perfect way to describe it. Let us start with prepositions of place. These answer the question where. The first one is in. I-N, in.
When do we use in?
We use in to describe being enclosed or inside a space, like being inside a box.
Give me some travel examples.
You can say, we slept in a hotel room. You're physically inside the four walls of the room. We also use in for large geographic areas with borders like cities and countries. I'm traveling in Spain, or she lives in London.
Inside a room or inside the borders of a country? That makes sense. What is the next preposition?
The next word is on. O-N, on. We use on when something is touching a flat surface. It is on top of something. I sat on the beach. You were sitting on top of the sand. My suitcase is on the bed.
Okay, I have a big problem with this rule.
Really? Why?
I hear native English speakers say, I am on the bus, or I am on the airplane, but I am physically inside the bus. There is a roof over my head. I'm enclosed. Why don't I say I am in the bus? That is completely illogical.
That is a very smart question. It confuses many learners. The reason is history.
History.
Yes. Long ago, people traveled on large ships or horses. A ship has a flat wooden deck. You walk around on top of the deck.
Yeah.
So you are on a ship.
Okay, I am walking on the flat deck of a ship. I understand that.
When trains and buses and large airplanes were invented, they were like ships. They have a long, flat floor. You step up onto them. You can stand up and walk around inside them.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Because there are like large moving platforms or decks, English continues to use the historical rule. You are on a bus, on a train, on a plane.
Wow, that explains it. Because I can walk down the middle of the airplane, it is a deck. I am on the deck. What about a small car or a taxi?
Well, you cannot stand up and walk around in a small car. It is a small enclosed box. So for a car or taxi, we use in. You are in a car. You are in a taxi.
That is fascinating. The grammar rule contains the history of transportation. Once you know the why, it is easy to remember. Large vehicle you walk in equals on. Small vehicle you sit in equals in. What is the third preposition?
The third is at. At. We use at for a very specific, exact point on a map. Not a big area like a city, a specific address or location.
Like an exact dot on the GPS.
Exactly. For example, we arrived at the airport. The airport is a specific point. Or I am waiting at the bus stop.
So I am in the city of London, but I am at the airport.
Yes. Let us look at three more quick prepositions of place. Under. We sat under an umbrella. The umbrella is above you, covering you.
Next to, the hotel is next to the museum. They are beside each other. They're close neighbors.
And between. The market is between the hotel and the beach. You need two things. The market sits in the middle of them.
Okay, those are the blue dots for place. What about the blue dots for time? Prepositions of time answer the question, when?
Let us learn three words for time. During, before, and after. We use during, D-U-R-I-N-G, to describe an action that happens from the beginning to the end of a period of time.
Like, I fell asleep during the movie. The movie is 2 hours long. Somewhere inside that block of time, I slept. Or, during my vacation, I ate seafood every day.
Yes. The next word is before. B-E-F-O-R-E. Before means earlier than an event. It happens first. You must pack your bag before you go to the airport. First you pack, second you go.
And the opposite is after. A-F-T-E-R. After means later. It happens second. We'll eat dinner after we watch the sunset. First the sunset, second the dinner.
You have learned the rules. Now, let us do a quick test.
Oh, a test.
Let us do an interactive quiz from the Fluentora text. Listeners, try to answer this. I will read a sentence. There are two missing words. Both missing words are prepositions. Listen carefully.
We are listening.
We arrived blank. The hotel blank 3 o'clock. I will read it again. We arrived blank. The hotel blank 3 o'clock. Host, what do you think?
Let us break it down logically. The first blank comes before the word hotel. A hotel is a specific, exact point on the map. It is not a city, it is a point. So we use at. We arrived at the hotel.
Correct. And the second blank.
The second blank comes before 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock is a specific exact point in time. Because it is an exact point, we also use at.
Perfect. The full sentence is, we arrived at the hotel at 3 o'clock. We use at for exact places and exact times.
Okay, my linguistic bag is heavy. We have vocabulary, we have destinations, we know how to book and pack, we know our grammar.
Yeah.
But knowing the rules is not enough, right?
Right. We must speak. This is the most important part of learning a language. You must use the words in conversation.
So let's practice.
Yes, we are going to have a slow, modeled conversation right now.
Yeah.
Listeners, listen to how we use the new words and the prepositions together.
Let us start by sharing our favorite activities to do on a holiday. What is your favorite activity and why?
My favorite activity is exploring the history of a new destination. I love to visit ancient ruins and museums. I also enjoy walking through local markets.
Do you buy a lot of souvenirs?
No, I do not buy many things.
Yeah.
I just like to look at the scenery of the city. I like to hear the music and smell the food. It makes me feel connected to the culture. What about you? What is your favorite activity?
Well, my favorite activity is eating local food to learn about the culture. I love finding a quiet restaurant next to the ocean. I love to sit on the beach and read a book during the afternoon.
So you like to relax.
Yes, I work very hard, so when I travel, I want to lower my stress. I want to feel calm. My favorite activity is simply relaxing so I can return home feeling refreshed.
We have very different travel styles. You like the quiet beach, and I like the busy city. Now let us build a bigger description. The Fluentora lesson asks us to describe our ultimate dream vacation.
Okay.
To do this, we must answer 5 questions. Where, when, who, what, and why.
Where to go, when to travel, who to travel with, what to do, and why? Okay, I will try to put all my ideas into one big sentence using prepositions. Listen closely.
We are listening.
I want to go to a warm island in the Maldives during the off-peak season with my family. We will stay in a hotel next to the water, and we will swim in the glowing sea of stars. I want to go there because I want to see amazing scenery and feel completely relaxed.
That was excellent. You use the vocabulary words like scenery and relax to use the prepositions in, during, and next to perfectly. Now I will answer the 5 questions.
Go ahead.
I would like to travel to the mountains in Switzerland during the winter with a group of close friends. We will stay in a small cabin at the top of the mountain. We will ski on the snow during the day and relax at night. I want to go there because I love feeling adventurous and exploring new cultures.
Oh, nice. Use on the snow because snow is a flat surface. Very good. Listeners, it is your turn. Think about those 5 questions. Where, when, who, what, why. Try to speak your own description.
Take the words we learned today and build your own dream vacation.
This brings us to a deeply philosophical question from the text. This is a question to make you think. You can have the best vocabulary and you can book the best hotel, but travel is complicated.
It is. So here is the question. What is more important to you, the destination you travel to or the people you travel with?
Oh, that is a difficult question. The place or the people? Let me think about this. The destination matters. If I want to see a pyramid, I have to go to Egypt. I cannot see a pyramid in my backyard.
That is true. The scenery of a place changes how you feel.
But what if you go to Egypt with someone you do not like?
Exactly. That is the problem.
Imagine I fly to the Maldives. The water is glowing, the sand is warm, it is the most beautiful scenery in the world. But I am traveling with a friend who is angry all day.
That sounds awful.
They complain about the food, they complain about the heat, they complain about the flight. Even though the destination is perfect, my vacation is ruined, I am stressed, I am not relaxed.
The person changes the experience completely.
Yes. Now, imagine the opposite. Imagine I am with my absolute favorite person in the world. We could be sitting in a dirty bus station at midnight. The bus is late, it is raining.
Doesn't sound like a dream vacation.
But we are telling jokes, we are laughing, we are sharing food. That terrible bus station becomes a memorable experience because of the person I am with. So for me, the people are far more important than the place.
That is a very human way to look at it. For me, the answer is slightly different. Sometimes I travel alone specifically to remove the people from my life.
Wait, really? You want to escape your friends?
Not escape them, but escape the familiar. When I travel alone, the destination becomes the most important thing. Because I have no friends to talk to, I am forced to talk to the local people.
Oh, I see.
I am forced to ask questions in a new language. I learn the culture much faster when I am alone because I have to pay attention to my surroundings. I cannot just talk to my friend.
That is a brilliant distinction.
So when I travel for learning, the place is most important. When I travel for rest, the people are most important.
It depends on the goal of your vacation. Are you traveling to look outward at the world, or are you traveling to look inward with your friends? Listeners, think about that for yourself. Which is more important to you?
We have covered an enormous amount of information today. We've examined the difference between a vacation and a destination. We've explored the deep history of places like Giza and the natural biology of the Maldives.
We have learned how to direct the sandwich of booking a ticket and how to do the puzzle of packing a suitcase.
And we finally understand why we stand on a bus but sit in a car. Our linguistic suitcase is completely full.
Before we finish, the Fluentora text leaves us with one final, beautiful thought. You do not need an airplane to have a vacation.
The text says, a holiday does not need to be expensive to be wonderful. Even a short trip to a nearby place can feel like a dream vacation.
That is such a comforting idea. Travel can be very extensive, but a vacation is a state of mind. It is a decision to rest and explore. You can explore your own city.
Yes, you can be a tourist in your hometown.
I want to leave you, the listener, with the challenge. This weekend, walk out of your front door. Pretend you are a visitor who just arrived from another country.
Look at your own street with the eyes of a traveler.
Is there a local market you have never visited? Is there a park you have never walked through? You do not need a passport to explore. You can find a memorable experience just down the street.
And you can use your new English vocabulary to describe it.
We want to say a massive thank you to the creators of today's lesson. We are able to bring you this deep dive thanks to Fluentora. They provide fantastic resources for language learners.
Yes, I do.
We create regular lesson plans for all levels, from beginner A1 to advanced. So if you want to download the lesson plan we use today, see the vocabulary lists, and practice the grammar exercises, please visit our website at fluentora.com.
That is fluentora.com. It is a great place to continue building your English skills.
Learning a language is a journey. It takes time. Sometimes you pack the wrong word. Sometimes you use the wrong preposition. But every time you try, you travel a little further. Thank you for packing your bags and exploring with us today. Keep practicing, keep looking at the world, and happy travels.